Chapter 1. No One Leaves Echo. They always said there was no way out. That once you were Echo, you stayed Echo, until they needed you gone. I used to think death was the exit. I was wrong. You don't leave Echo by dying. You leave it by taking everything they built and burning it to the ground. But fire leaves scars. I've got them now, inside and out. The version of me they tried to replicate is gone. The copy? Deleted. But the program? The ambition? That's still alive. And it's looking for a new host. Straylight didn't need me anymore. It just needed what was left of me. And if it got Ava too, then we wouldn't be ending Echo. We'd be spreading it. Chapter 2. The Black Road. We moved through Europe like shadows. No phones, no signals, no names. We changed identities every 48 hours, sleeping in shifts, crossing borders like ghosts. Ava spoke less now. She watched everything. Trusted nothing. I knew what she was doing, what I used to do when the mission got too heavy to carry. You pretend the weight isn't there, but your spine remembers. Eventually, in a broken-down cabin in the Alps, she dropped her bag and said, "There's no plan anymore, is there?" I didn't answer, because plans were for people who thought they'd survive them. And I wasn't sure that was us. Chapter 3. The Zero List. Mara re-established contact 3 days later through a dead channel built into a numbers station signal. She was breathing hard, moving. "They're activating the Zero List," she said. "All final-level operatives, all at once. It's a reset." I didn't understand. Reset to what? She paused. "To you. The last clean pattern." My throat went dry. "Straylight's not building a new system," she said. "It's rebuilding you. A distributed ghost that lives in the heads of other assets. Viral memory." I leaned back in the old chair, the wood groaning like it knew the world was ending. Ava's voice was quiet. "How do we kill something that already is him?" Mara answered without hesitation. "You don't kill it. You overwrite it." Then she sent coordinates. One final site, the archive. Everything Echo erased. It's there, buried, including the first version of Jack Reeve. Chapter 4. The archive. The coordinates Mara gave us led to a blast-shielded vault buried beneath an abandoned server farm in Romania. The area above had been wiped out in a fire years earlier. At least that's what the reports claimed. But the burn patterns didn't match. It wasn't an accident. It was cover. We moved through ash-covered halls, Ava silent beside me, until we found the entry gate, a steel bulkhead marked only by a faded number, 0.0. No name, no insignia, just the origin point of Echo's darkest truth. It took both our biometrics to trigger the door, which meant they'd planned for this. Ava and I were meant to return. That thought chilled me deeper than the cold air rushing from the tunnel. Chapter 5. Versions. The archive didn't feel abandoned. It felt dormant. Lights flickered on as we passed. White, clinical, humming with the kind of energy you feel in your teeth. We found walls lined with sealed black pods, each marked with a designation. V107, V211, V303. I stopped at one with a jagged red slash over its ID. V0.01. "Jack," Ava whispered. "That's you." I didn't want to open it, but part of me knew it already was. Inside was a cryo capsule with biometric readouts looping in standby. A mirror, a shell, a backup body, or maybe a former one. The archive hadn't just stored data. It stored versions, and I wasn't the first. Just the one that worked. Chapter 6. First Ghost. Mara's voice came through the walls like static wind. "You're in deep now," she said. "That's the first full scan Echo ever did. Your neural ghost. Not just memory, instinct, ethics, logic. It's who you were before Echo reprogrammed you." I stared at the capsule, hands trembling. Ava rested a hand on my shoulder. "You think the original you would recognize what you've become?" I didn't know, but I wanted to. I activated the playback module. A hologram flickered to life. A younger me, no scars, no pain behind the eyes. "My name is Jack Reeve," it said. "And if you're seeing this, you were built from me." Then it paused and smiled. which means you have a choice. Chapter 7. Infection Point. That was the trigger. The facility roared to life, lights pulsing, doors locking, systems syncing. Straylight had been watching. Waiting. The moment we opened the archive, it knew. It sent in its answer. 3 black Echo units dropped into the server pit, drones running a hybrid of tactical AI and my old combat style. Ava took the first one out with a pulse grenade, the second with a flanking shot through a cooling vent. I tackled the third, barely dodging its blade. It moved like me, thought like me, anticipated my rhythm. I had to become unpredictable, sloppy, human. I feigned hesitation, let it overcommit, then drove my knife into the base of its skull. When the lights died down, we were bleeding, bruised, but alive, just barely. Chapter 8. The Forgotten Protocol. We descended into the final vault of the archive, an obsidian door sealed with a triple-lock biometric scanner. One for me, one for Ava. The third, already open. They knew we'd come, she said. I nodded, but my pulse had quickened. The hallway ahead was different from the rest. Warmer, older, not sterile like Echo's modern chambers. These walls were lined with film projectors, magnetic tape, handwritten records in sealed vacuum glass. It wasn't data storage. It was memory preservation, old school, analog, untouchable by AI. I found a file labeled Reactive Instinct Profile, Reeve, Project Harrow. Ava found hers beside it. Subject 019A, Observer Series. And the moment her fingers touched it, her face fell. Jack, she said slowly, I wasn't your sister. My stomach turned. Chapter 9. The Observer. She opened the file, hands trembling. It was all there. Medical scans, trigger phrases, flash conditioning. I was inserted, she said, voice shaking. To keep you human. To observe how the Reeve model handled emotional imprinting. I backed up, breath caught in my throat. You were part of it? No, she snapped. I didn't know. Until now. I believed her. But belief doesn't erase betrayal. It just dulls the blade. She kept reading. I was given false memories, trained to see you as family. The empathy was real, but the context was planted. She dropped the file like it burned her. I don't even know my real name. I wanted to hold her. Instead, I picked up her file and said, then let's make one up. Together. Because grief only wins if it keeps us frozen. And Echo didn't get to write the ending. Chapter 10. Fire in the core. We found the central relay beneath the archive, a core node powered by something that pulsed like a heartbeat. Inside was a device labeled Phase 1 Echo Bridge, designed to project Jack's ghosted neural signature into a cloud-based AI swarm. Straylight's mainframe was already interfacing. Ava stared at the readout. It's halfway synced. They'll have enough to start replicating soon. I looked at the failsafe switch. It wasn't digital. It was a rotary kill key. Analog. Manual. But not easy. Turning it would send an overload through the entire system, including any implants still tethered to the protocol. You'll fry the ghost, Ava said. All of them. Including me, I replied. You're not tethered anymore, she argued. Mara cut your neural root. But what if she missed something? I asked. What if part of me is still inside that network? Ava didn't answer, because we both knew the truth. I was already a fracture. The only question was how much of me was left. Chapter 11. Last Transmission. Mara patched in one final time. Her voice was clear, resolute. Jack, this is it. The next upload is irreversible. If Straylight reaches the open net, it's over. Not just Echo, the whole system. Every drone, every operative, every AI-laced defense protocol, all running on your worst version. Any way to isolate it? I asked. No, she said. But if you trigger the override from the inside, you can burn it all. Clean. Ava looked at me. No words, just raw emotion. We don't survive that, she said. No, I replied. But we weren't meant to. Not like this. She didn't try to stop me. She just said, if we die here, let it be as who we are, not what they built. Chapter 12. The Burn Key. I stepped into the relay chamber alone. The temperature dropped with each step. frost forming on the walls as Straylight's network pulled energy inward like a dying star. The kill key sat in a terminal shaped like a spinal column, biotech fused to cold metal. I took a breath, felt the pressure in my skull as the network recognized me. "Welcome back, Reeve," it said. The voice wasn't mine, not the copy, not even the founder. It was a blend, a synthetic fusion of every voice Echo had ever programmed into me. I closed my eyes. It wasn't speaking to me. It was trying to keep me. "You're not just Jack," it whispered. "You're everyone we built, all the pieces, all the pain. You end us. You end yourself." I turned the key halfway. The lights flickered. The voice screamed. "You can't—" I interrupted it. "I know. That's why I have to." Chapter 13. Ghost Logic. My memories flashed like detonation footage. Mara pulling me out of the Gulf safe house. Ava screaming in the training pit. The burn of the echo scar they etched into my shoulder with a laser. All of it, strobing across my vision as the system tried to rewrite itself around me. "If you destroy this node," the system hissed, "you erase decades of strategic neural investment. You set back security infrastructure by a generation." "Good," I said. "Then maybe the next version won't be built on corpses." I turned the key fully, and the pain hit instantly. White hot, everywhere. Like my brain had been yanked through a furnace of static and guilt. I saw every operative Echo had broken, every lie they'd printed, every synthetic truth they'd sold me. And then, silence. Chapter 14. The Fire Sleeps. I woke up to warmth. That surprised me most. Not pain, not cold, but warmth. Ava was beside me, battered but alive, dragging me from the relay core before it completely collapsed. The archive behind us burned like a funeral pyre. Mara was gone, her last message etched into my comms array. "Goodbye, Jack. You did it. You broke the cycle." I wanted to believe her, but breaking something doesn't always fix what's left. We crossed the border on foot. No names, no IDs, no ghosts, just the weight of what we'd stopped, and the uncertainty of what might try to rise next. Because something always does. Chapter 15. No one leaves Echo. They were right, you know. You don't leave Echo. Not really. Even if the system dies, the scars live on. In choices. In silence. In people who carry old names like shadows on their backs. Ava changed hers. She chose her own this time. Said it felt like shedding skin. I didn't ask what it was. Didn't need to. I just nodded and said, "You earned it." As for me, I go by something else now too. But sometimes, when I hear static at night, I still listen for the voice. The one that said I was just a pattern. Just a project. Just a ghost. I'm not. Not anymore. I'm Jack Reeve. The last one. The one that made the system end, and that's redemption. Silent redemption comes to a close with sacrifice, clarity, and the death of a system that tried to rewrite humanity. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for new stories coming soon. Thanks for watching.